I fixed the brand new Spider-Man No Way Home Lego set, and you can too, but before I can begin, we have to actually get the set. So on August 1st, I woke up bright and early to make sure I'd actually be able to do so. At the Lego store, I managed to snag one of the last No Way Home Final Battle sets, and I also got a 332nd Trooper Battle Pack, as well as this weird promo that I'd never heard of. Anyway, once I got back home, it was time to start building the set, which had 7 bags and was a pretty easy build, taking me less than 2 hours. Overall, this is a pretty great set, however, there are some pretty glaring issues that I plan on addressing, specifically with the minifigures. So let's begin by fixing the ones that LEGO actually included in this set, starting off with the 3 Spider-Man. First off is Tom Holland's Spider-Man, and to fix this guy is really simple. All I did was give him the head and hair from the What If Spider-Man figure that was part of the first Marvel CMF. Next is Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, and in my opinion this headpiece doesn't work at all, so I replaced it with the one used for Poe Dameron, and replaced his hair with the one from this Resistance Trooper figure. I also think that he could use some leg printing rather than the simple dual molded legs, so I swapped out his legs for the ones from this Spider-Man Homecoming minifigure. The third and final Spider-Man is Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, and I know the perfect face print for him. However, I didn't already have it in my collection, so I had to get it on Bricklink, along with a few other things that we'll use in a bit. The head comes from this figure of Antoni Porowski, and I think it captures Andrew's likeness amazingly. I also decided to give him a new leg piece because, like Toby, the one LEGO used for him was far too plain. So I decided to go to the Sanctum Sanctorum and use the legs from the Spider-Man figure included in that set. So here's what the 3 Spider-Man variants improved versions look like all lined up. Next it's time to fix the villain. Starting off with the Green Goblin, I think everyone can agree that this figure overall is pretty good, but it suffers heavily from a lack of leg printing. Luckily, I found the perfect leg piece for him, and the set that it comes in was on sale, so since I knew I couldn't pass up on this amazing opportunity, I bought the set and got to building. And now that I've got the legs for Green Goblin, I don't really need the rest of the set. So here's what the improved Green Goblin looks like, and I think the Cersei leg printing is a huge improvement over the original plain green legs. After that, we got Doc Ock, the first villain to be introduced in No Way Home. Unfortunately, for some reason, LEGO decided to make his outfit gray instead of green like it was in the movie. To fix this, I had to find a figure that had a green trench coat, which was printed on both the torso and the legs, and the figure for Luthen from Andor was the best that I could find. After I did that, the second change that I made was to swap out the arms for the ones from the Daily Bugle set, which are not only quite a bit longer, but also allow for significantly more posability. Lastly, I decided to give him the Harry Potter hair instead of the J hairpiece because even though it is a little bit too dark, I think it captures the look of his hairstyle really well. The third villain included in the set is Electro, and although I think that he's one of the best figures in the set, he can still be a little bit better. One change that I would recommend would be to swap out his legs that have very minimal detailing and instead use the ones from the LEGO Movie 2 Wild style, which are significantly more detailed and even are dual molded to represent boots. Now, one of the biggest complaints for this set was that they only included these 3 villains and left out the Lizard and Sandman for no apparent reason, so of course I'm here to fix that. Starting off with Sandman, I used the torso and leg attachment that are used in a bunch of different sets for Sandman, but for me it was the Daily Bugle. Then after that I got the headpiece from Victor Crumb, and the hairpiece is this brown coiled one that I ordered off of Bricklink. After that, I got the sand hand out of the head of the Statue of Liberty so that he could use it as a weapon rather than it being a small Easter egg that no one's really going to notice while it's on display. For the Lizard, I've seen a lot of people use the CMF Series 5 Lizard character figure, but honestly, I don't think this really works because it looks way too cartoony for me. So for my version, I used this headpiece from Chima, and then I used the torso and legs from Stripe from the Gremlins Dimension Pack. I had to go to Bricklink for these pieces, but it was definitely worth it for the end result. Now that we've added the 2 missing characters, let's go ahead and move on to another one of the stupidest issues with this set, that being that they use the Multiverse of Madness version of Doctor Strange, even though they already made a version from this movie. Luckily, this means that it's a super easy fix, and all you have to do is swap out the figures. Now to fix my personal least favorite figure in this entire set, Ned Leeds. This figure is just so bad for no reason, because even though he clearly wears a dark blue Letterman jacket, they decided to give him this red one instead. To add insult to injury, the printing on mine is also kinda messed up in the middle. Then, in addition to this, his hairpiece is the wrong color. To fix these issues, I first gave him this dark blue Letterman jacket torso and just swapped out the arms for the yellow ones included in the set. After that, I swapped out his hairpiece for the one from Professor Flitwick in the first Harry Potter CMF series. The last figure in the set is MJ, and honestly, I don't really have any ideas on how to improve her. She's supposed to be wearing a purple sweater, but unfortunately, I couldn't find any torsos on Bricklink that work. Alright, now that we finished improving the figures, let's move on to improvements for the build. First, how about we add some of the cures, because as is, the set only comes with a cure for one of the villains, that being Sandman, who, might I add, wasn't even a figure in the set. So I added some web pieces in different areas of the scaffolding, then using 1x1 clip pieces, I attached 3 syringes that can be used to cure the villains. Another thing that I wanted to add is a play feature allowing you to recreate the scene where Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man saves MJ from falling off of the scaffolding, because it's one of the most iconic scenes in the final battle. So to create this play feature, I first gathered up some tiles, Technic bricks, and a 1x4 split level plate, and I assembled them like this so one side could hinge down. After that, I rearranged some of the poles on this bit of scaffolding so that they could hold up one side of the additional section that I built. Then finally, I added this diagonal pole attached to a hinge piece, which allows you to push down on it and have the floor fall out from MJ and recreate the iconic scene. One thing that really annoyed me about this set once I'd finished building it was the fact that the back of Lady Liberty's head had a ton of gaps in it, and the reason for this is of course the portal to the Sanctum Sanctorum, which while I admit is a cool little detail, is super distracting to see poking out of the back of her head. So while this issue cannot be fixed completely, the issue can be somewhat improved by adding a couple of 2x4 bricks on the inside of the section that hinges down, and this makes the issue much less noticeable. Well, that's about all for the changes. Now it's time to put it all together and see the end result. So here's what it looks like with all the changes in place, and I think this is a huge improvement over the original, and it just shows how some minor changes can really make a set a whole lot better. Anyway, that's about all for today. Huge thanks for 50,000 subscribers. We just hit that a couple days ago, and we're halfway to 100,000, which is super exciting. But yeah, that's about all I have for you guys today. Have a great day, and go build something awesome.